Okay, we're going to add the nearest stars as a series onto your graph. So your graph is right here. You have the brightest stars plotted. We want to add in the nearest stars. So the key is to get into the select data tool. On the instructions it says choose select data after right clicking. So if I right click, I can select data. The other place, so you might find it at, there's a plus sign, I think, next to the graphs on the PC version, and you click that plus. I think that might be one of the options down there if you scroll down. Or the other place I'm pretty sure you can find it is in the chart design tab. So I looked up the instructions for a PC, and there should be a chart design tab just like there is for me on the Mac, and it should be right next to the switch row column. There should be a select data button. So if I come here, chart design, select data. Okay, so right now it has selected the brightest stars data, and it's naming it by whatever the Y column is, and so right now it's in this cell, F4. Let me just show you a few things before we get to adding the nearest data. So I can change it to be labeled the brightest stars if I click on the brightest stars cell. Okay, now you see it's labeled as the brightest stars. And then the X values are column C and the Y values are column F. We want to add in a new series for the nearest stars data. So that's done by clicking the plus sign. And now I can name it. So let me name it nearest stars. Okay, so now whatever I type into this cell, that will be the name of this series. So I have the brightest stars and the nearest stars. X values will be temperature. So I'll select all the temperature data. And the Y values will be luminosity. So I want this column here. Okay, so I've named it X and Y values. We have two series of data on the chart. Click OK, and it should have both sets of data. Now, obviously, everything's all scrunched up at the bottom. That's why the instructions say to make this a log scale. So if you click on the axis, and it should be a right click to get to Format Axis, then we can make it a logarithmic scale. Okay, so the data got spread out, and it looks better. Then if we click on the x-axis, this switches to the format axis for the x-axis, and we can leave that one on a regular scale, but now we want to do values in reverse order. So I swapped the order. All right, let me close out of this. Okay, and now you get what it should look like. So the data starts in the lower right, it curves up to the upper left, and looks like it does in the example over here.